It is literally so boiling today, so I highly apologise if I profusely sweat at any point. Seriously though, British houses are not made for this sort of weather. Welcome back to my channel everyone, and thank you for joining me today. Today is going to be a bit of a waffly chatty vid, which is about why I did not go to university. And because why not, I decided to wear a university top that I clearly did not go to. Well, before I even say why I didn't go to university, I think it's probably worth mentioning that I didn't even finish sixth form, so college. I left school at 16 after I got my GCSEs, and then did college for 8 months and then left education forever. So I guess you could say the main reason I didn't go to university is because I did not have the qualifications required to get into university in the first place. But obviously before I dropped out of college, I made the conscious decision that I didn't want to go to uni, and that is what this video is about. I am actually planning a full video about why I left school at 17, so make sure to subscribe as I'll be posting that over the next couple of weeks, I think. Okay, so let's get started. I feel like this first point is pretty self-explanatory, which is that university is very, very expensive. Really, I just did not want to be shelling out that sort of money. At the time that I would have been applying to university, so a couple of years ago now, it was 9 grand a year plus obviously your living expenses. I unfortunately have not come from a rich family. I do not have a trust fund, which means that every penny that my university cost I would have had to shell out, and I just didn't really want to do that, especially at 17 thinking about that. No thank you. While I believe that your student loan doesn't really count as debt in the same sort of way, I didn't really want that hanging over my head, especially considering the next reason. Even if you had asked 19-year-old Penny, she still really wasn't sure what she wanted to do. I didn't figure that out until a couple of years after thinking about university. Thinking back to when I was 16, I was incredibly unsure of what I wanted to do with my life. I had, I guess, 3 different options after secondary school, none of which I'm doing now. But my first option was sixth form, where I would do my A-levels. I did get into sixth forms and I picked, I believe, geography, history, something else. Basically, geography was my favourite subject at school, so that's why I picked that. What I ended up doing after secondary school was I went to college to do a diploma in journalism, which I actually changed to digital media a couple of months in. And my last option, which I do sometimes think I should have taken, was I was actually offered an apprenticeship to do accounting. I laugh at myself now, but I was really considering it. The fact that those options are so different really shows how little I knew about what I wanted to do with my life. And honestly, when I left college at 17, I knew even less what I wanted to do because I realised that the media wasn't really for me. I ended up going into marketing actually, which I lasted for about a year. And I'm planning on doing a full kind of my career history video, so I guess hold on for that. Because considering my age, I feel like I have had a few career changes. But anyway, back onto the subject. I had no idea what I wanted to do, so I thought, what the hell is a point in spending all this money to get a degree that I may not use? I'd kind of finished my learning at this point. I'd really lost all passion for kind of the formal education system, so I thought there's no point spending money on a more of a formal education that I may never use. I started my first job in the January after I turned 16, and I've worked ever since. I love working, mainly because you get money out of it. Can you not get arrested? I'm trying to film. Joking aside, I do love my job, but what really got me interested in working is that happy feeling after you've not only got money, but earned that money. I realised that if I went to university, I wouldn't have as much time to work because obviously I'd be studying. When I look back, I do think if I had been to university and done like a normal 3-year course, I would be finishing now. Whereas instead of university debt, I've actually been working for 4 whole years full time, and I've earned a decent amount of money and of course have gained experience. While of course getting qualified at a degree level is brilliant and will advance your earning potential later on, I was really looking at it at that point in my life when I was 17, 18 and I wanted money then. I really love learning, and I'm really annoyed at school for ruining that for me. The idea of expanding my knowledge so much on one subject I just find amazing, but I'm very aware that uni isn't just about getting a degree, there is a whole lifestyle associated with it, and especially 17, 18-year-old me would have absolutely hated it. I was incredibly unsociable, seriously introverted, very anxious, and I just think the whole concept of living in halls, going out, I of course know that I wouldn't have had to join in with everything, but I know what peer pressure did to me at that age, and I would have made stupid choices. At 18, I wouldn't have enjoyed the university experience, but the person I am now, I think would have. So maybe at that point in university I would have figured it out, but I never went, so I don't know. So I'm actually gonna finish this video on kind of some reasons why I wish I did go to university. So I'm not entirely positive about not going to university. I wouldn't say I regret not going, because obviously I can still go in the future, but I do think I made the right decision for me at that time. As I mentioned, I really love learning and I love the idea of being really knowledgeable on one subject. I'm sure that if I had decided to go to university, I probably would have done A-levels and I would have ended up doing a degree in geography, I imagine. Geography was my best and favourite subject at school, and I loved the idea of being a geography teacher. I mean, I could still retrain, but I probably won't. So to be super knowledgeable about geography, I'm sure I'd have been a delight at dinner parties and just I'd have had a lot of knowledge, which I like the idea of. On a more sociable side, I missed out on that opportunity to make friends. I wasn't going to a crazy new city or town, I didn't have to find new friends, so I just made friends with the people I worked with. You have so many amazing opportunities to make friends at uni, and I know a lot of my friends have literally met their lifelong friends there. When I think about it, I don't really have that many friends, and I like the idea that maybe university may have brought me closer to some people that I now don't know. I also think that I may have liked to experience living somewhere else. I currently live less than an hour's drive of where I grew up. I've always lived in the same vicinity, and I do just think if I went screw it and moved to a city up north or down south or just somewhere different, it would have been good for me. I'm very aware that I can move to a new city now. There's nothing stopping me. You don't have to go to university to do that, but it is actually quite a good excuse to try something new out. I mean, I have a job here and a relationship in Norfolk now, so moving across the country isn't actually as easy as when I was, say, 18 and had zero responsibilities. Well, that is my why I didn't go to university video. As I think I've mentioned, I definitely don't regret not going to university. I do think it was the right decision for me, but there are some times I'm like, should I have gone? I really hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little different for me, however most of my videos are kind of work and money related, so make sure to subscribe if you would like to see more from me. Sorry if I've been sweating, as I've mentioned it's very hot, but until next time I will see you very soon. Bye!